here with your Gamer Goggles, gamer-goggles.com. Today we're going to talk a little bit more about Frostgrave. Well, not this book that's been out for a few years. But hey, I do want to know if you would like me to do a tutorial on how to play Frostgrave. There's a handful of them out there, and I'm not trying to pick on them because most of what I hear about them is secondhand. I think that there are some possible rules errors in some of them. So if you guys would like me to do one, let me know in the comments below. But we're going to talk about ulterior motives. This was not by any means the prettiest unboxing to do because there's like no art in ulterior motives. But man, after playing the game, or the expansion, whatever you want to call it, ulterior motives, it is... Uh-oh, I'm about to get attacked by a cat, I think. It's over the top. It really is. It's a game changer, you know. You've got your scenarios, and then you randomly get these cards, and you have decisions to make. How are you going to play your opponent? Are you going to let your opponent go for his objectives, his new objectives, untouched? Or are you going to attempt to make it like your objectives are better? Honestly, I think Skip and I played about 7 games with the cards, with the ulterior motives cards, and we most of the time we just ran right out for our objectives. There was a couple of times when it didn't make sense for me to go after them. Like actually, the very first one we played was. We used the scenarios out of the main book, and we added an ulterior motives card to the one with the Jinn, or the Genie. And Genie's pretty bad to the bone to begin with. And for whatever reason, I was having a lot of bad luck, and I was taking a lot of damage that game, so I just let him deal with all the monsters. He actually was playing a summoner, so he had to deal with some demons and some constructs and other things that happened that were pretty nasty in that game. But I let him go after it. And all of the other games, we pretty much went for our objectives and as much treasure as we could get. Because, hey, that's what you're doing. You're gathering treasure. I would actually like to... Well, actually, at Gen Con, I think I'm going to get to play this with Skip again. And maybe a couple other guys. Probably Jay. And I hope that we use the ulterior motive cards in more than a 2-player game. And see how that changes and affects things. Yeah, that's a lot of stuff on a table at a small convention, or I mean a large convention where you might only have a small table to play with. But I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I really do. I mean, I don't even remember anymore how much these cost. But they're worth it because it doesn't matter what scenario it is, it adds more playability, or shall I say replayability. You can play the same scenario 10 times, and there's, 58 cards? 40 cards. So there's 40, no, actually, there's, technically an infinite number of well, not infinite, but there's a lot of combinations you can get, because each player gets the ulterior motives card. At the very least, there's 20, right? But you can have that one card with 19 other cards, and there's a kitty cat attacking me! Maybe. I think she smells my root beer. That's a tail moving through the screen. Anyway, ulterior motives. If you've been playing Frostgrave and you like it, well worth it. Don't judge it by the lack of art or the fact that it's cards. I've heard some people say, oh, it's just a gimmick. It's not a gimmick, people. It really is... it takes the game to another level. It totally changes the strategy and the tactics that you employ. Anyway... Matt Lemke with your Gamer Goggles, gamer-goggles.com. Thanks for watching.